Here are legit, commonly used job websites in Australia. 2026, these are safe, widely trusted, and used by real employers. I'll also point out which ones are best for different situations, so you don't waste time. Top legit job websites in Australia. 1. Seek. #1 job site in Australia. 90,000 plus active listings at any time. Covers all industries: retail, IT, construction, healthcare, etc. Best for almost everyone. If you only use one site, gives you Seek. 2. Indeed. Global platform with millions of listings. Easy quick apply system. Good for part-time, casual, and entry-level jobs. Best for fast applications, plus lots of options. 3. Jorda. Aggregates jobs from many websites. Owned by SEEK Group. Great for finding hidden listings. Best for extra job opportunities you won't see elsewhere. 4. Workforce Australia. Official Australian government job site. 100% legit, no scams. Includes training, plus support programs. Best for safe jobs plus visa, job support. 5. LinkedIn. Huge network, 5M users in Australia. Combines jobs plus networking. Many companies hire directly here. Best for professional office jobs. 6. Glassdoor. Job listings plus salary info plus company reviews. Helps avoid bad employers. Best for research before applying. 7. Niche and useful sites. Adzuna. Smart search plus salary data. Ethical jobs, nonprofits, and NGOs. Gumtree. Casual. Local jobs, be careful. Important. Avoid scams. Some places are not reliable. Random Facebook job groups. WhatsApp, Telegram job offers. Data entry $300. Day ads. Even Reddit users warn many FB job posts are scams or fake leads. Pro tips. This matters more than the site. Use 2 to 3 sites max. Don't spam everywhere. Apply directly on company websites when possible. Set job alert. Seek. Indeed. Tailor your resume for each job. Simple strategy works in Australia. 1. Apply on Seek plus Indeed daily. 2. Use Jorda to find extra listings. 3. Check company pages or LinkedIn. 4. Walk in for cafes, retail, and hospitality. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and like.
How to register as a teacher in Ireland. 1. Get the right teaching qualifications. The requirements depend on the level you want to teach. Primary school teachers. You typically need an approved primary teaching qualification, such as a Bachelor of Education or equivalent teacher training degree, evidence of good character and vetting clearance. Secondary post-primary teachers. You generally need a bachelor's degree that qualifies you to teach at least one recognized school subject, an approved teacher education qualification, such as a Professional Master of Education PME, or an approved concurrent teaching degree, vetting and character checks. 2. Apply for Teaching Council registration. Applications are made through the Teaching Council's online registration portal. You will usually need academic transcripts, degree certificates, proof of identity and address, employment history, character declarations, additional documentation if requested, for example, module descriptions for subject assessments. 3. Complete vetting requirements. Teachers working with children must undergo vetting through Ireland's National Vetting Bureau. The Teaching Council manages this as part of the registration process. 4. If you qualified outside Ireland, Ireland assesses overseas teaching qualifications individually. The Teaching Council will compare your qualifications, teaching practice, and subject content against Irish requirements. You may receive full registration with conditions, for example, additional coursework or adaptation requirements, or a request for further evidence if necessary. Thank you for watching. I began my professional teaching career in the Philippines with the Department of Education DepEd, where I developed a strong foundation in classroom instruction, learner-centered pedagogy, and public education service. This experience shaped my commitment to fostering inclusive and meaningful learning environments. In 2017, I transitioned to the Middle East, where I worked as a teacher until 2023. During this period, I gained extensive experience in multicultural education settings, strengthening my adaptability, communication skills, and ability to support diverse student needs across different curricula and learning contexts. Motivated to further expand my expertise in early childhood education, I relocated to Australia and completed a diploma of early childhood education in New South Wales. I then worked as an early childhood educator in an SW, where I applied play-based learning approaches and developed strong professional practice within the Australian early learning framework. Seeking broader professional growth, I moved in Hulunbuy in the Northern Territory, working as a childcare educator in a remote community setting that enriched my cultural understanding and flexibility in practice. I have since transitioned to Darwin City, where I continue my work as a childcare educator in a more diverse urban environment. Each stage of my journey has strengthened my professional identity and deepened my dedication to supporting children's learning, development, and well-being across varied cultural and educational settings.
Tips to get hired for a J1 Teacher Exchange Program. The J1 Teacher Exchange Program allows qualified international teachers to teach in U.S. schools while gaining cultural and professional experience. To improve your chances of being hired, focus on preparation, qualifications, and presentation. First, ensure you meet the eligibility requirements. Most J1 teacher programs require a bachelor's degree in education or a related field, a teaching license or certification, and at least 2 years of full-time teaching experience. Strong English communication skills are also essential, as you will be teaching and collaborating in an English-speaking environment. Second, create a professional application package. Prepare a well-organized resume highlighting your teaching experience. Certifications, leadership roles, and achievements include measurable accomplishments, such as improved student performance or successful projects. Write a clear and engaging cover letter explaining why you want to teach in the United States and how you can contribute to the school community. Third, research U.S. education practices. Familiarize yourself with student-centered learning, classroom management techniques, differentiated instruction. In educational technology, schools often prefer candidates who demonstrate adaptability and an understanding of diverse learning environments. Fourth, prepare thoroughly for interviews. Be ready to discuss your teaching philosophy, classroom management strategies, lesson planning, and methods for supporting students with different learning needs. Provide specific examples from your teaching experience. Show enthusiasm, professionalism, and a willingness to share your culture while learning from others. Fifth, demonstrate cultural exchange skills. The J1 program is not only about teaching, but also about fostering mutual cultural understanding. Highlight experiences working with diverse groups, participating in community activities, or promoting cultural awareness. Finally, be proactive and patient. Apply to multiple sponsor organizations and school districts. Respond promptly to requests, and keep your documents updated. Building a strong professional profile and presenting yourself as a skilled, flexible, and culturally engaged educator can significantly increase your chances of securing a J.E. Teacher Exchange Program position.
Interviewers are usually looking for more than just teaching ability. They want teachers who can represent their country well, adapt to a new culture, and make a positive impact on students and communities. 1. Know the purpose of the program. Be prepared to explain why you want to teach in the USA, how the exchange will benefit your students, school, and community back home, how you will share your culture with American students. A strong answer: I want to learn innovative teaching strategies in the U.S. and bring those practices back to improve student learning in my home country while also promoting cultural understanding. 2. Highlight your teaching achievements. Prepare examples of student success stories, innovative teaching methods you've used, leadership roles in school, professional development activities, community involvement. Use the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. 3. Demonstrate cultural adaptability. Interviewers want to know, can you work with diverse students? How will you handle culture shock? Are you open-minded? Possible question: how would you handle teaching students from different cultural backgrounds? Good answer: I would create an inclusive classroom environment, learn about my students' backgrounds, and adapt my teaching to ensure all learners feel respected and engaged. 4. Show strong classroom management skills. Be ready to discuss managing disruptive behavior, motivating reluctant learners, differentiating instruction, working with parents. Give real examples from your experience. 5. Emphasize communication skills. The interview is also evaluating your English communication. Tips: speak clearly and confidently. Answer directly. Avoid memorized responses. Ask for clarification if needed. 6. Be ready for common questions. Practice answers for: why do you want to join this exchange program? Why should we select you? What makes you an effective teacher? How do you integrate technology into lessons? Describe a challenge you faced in teaching and how you solved it. How will you represent your country in the United States? What will you do when you return home? 7. Show leadership potential. Programs often seek teachers who can become change agents. Mention mentoring colleagues, leading school projects, curriculum development, teacher training activities. 8. Research the U.S. education system. Learn basic information about student-centered learning, inclusive education, diversity and equity, project-based learning, educational technology. This shows genuine interest and preparation. 9. Prepare questions to ask. At the end, ask thoughtful questions such as: how do participants typically share their experiences after returning home? 10. Project confidence and professionalism. During the interview, dress professionally. Maintain eye contact. Smile naturally. Be enthusiastic about teaching and cultural exchange. Thank you so much for watching.
If you are an overseas qualified teacher who wants to teach in Australia, there are 2 separate processes you may need. 1. Teacher registration required to legally teach in a state or territory. 2. AI TSL skills assessment required for many skilled migration visas, but not for teacher registration itself. General requirements for teacher registration. Although each Australian state and territory has its own teacher registration authority, the requirements are broadly similar nationwide. You will generally need a recognized teaching qualification, usually at least 4 years of higher education or equivalent, including an accredited initial teacher education program or an overseas qualification, assessed as equivalent. English language proficiency. If your qualifications were not completed in an exempt English-speaking country, you may need to provide an approved English test, such as IELTS academic with. Overall professional standard. No band below 7.0. At least 8.0 in speaking and listening under the current national framework requirements. Can vary slightly by jurisdiction. Identity documents. Passport and proof of identity. Academic documents. Degree certificate S. Official transcripts. Course descriptions or syllabus if requested. Teaching practice evidence. Documents showing your supervised teaching practicum, including number of days, student age groups, school placements, university supervision where applicable, criminal history checks, Australian National Police check if required, overseas police clearance certificates, for countries where you have lived as an adult, fitness and suitability declarations, character and professional conduct declarations. If you are applying from overseas, many registration authorities allow you to begin the assessment before arriving in Australia. You may receive full registration, less common, provisional registration, conditional registration with additional requirements to complete after arrival. The outcome depends on your qualifications and teaching experience. If you also want permanent migration, for visas such as the Skilled Independent or State-Nominated Visa, you will usually also need a positive AI TSL skills assessment, English language evidence, qualification assessment, teaching practice evidence, identity documents. The AI TSL skills assessment is separate from state teacher registration. Passing one does not automatically grant the other. State registration authorities. You apply to the authority for the state or territory where you intend to work. For example, Victorian Institute of Teaching Victoria, NSW Education Standards Authority New South Wales, Queensland College of Teachers Queensland, Teacher Registration Board of the Northern Territory Northern Territory. Thank you for watching and sharing this video.